guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the I Dare You book tag. I'm not sure who created this tag, but if I find it, I'll go ahead and link it down below. I've seen a few booktubers doing this tag and I think it is a lot of fun. Basically, the premise is you have to be honest and answer the questions. There are 4 rules. It says, no, there are 3 rules, I'm sorry. You must be honest, you must answer all the questions, and you must tag at least 4 people. And this tag is a little bit longer. There are 19 questions. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. Question number 1, what book has been on your shelf the longest? The book that I've had the longest is Junie B. Jones and the Stupid Smelly Bus by Barbara Parks. This is book 1 in the Junie B. Jones series. This was my favorite book series when I was little. This is kind of what really got me into reading. Junie B. Jones is so cute. She's a little girl. She's in kindergarten and she gets into all of this chaos and she is just so sassy and so cute, and these books are absolutely adorable. But this is the first book that I ever owned and it is in quite good condition actually for it being the oldest book on my shelf. Question number 2, what is your current read, your last read, and the book you'll read next? Right now I am currently reading a couple different books. I'm listening to the audiobook of The Son of Neptune. This is the second book in the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan, which is a spin-off series of Percy Jackson. I'm also reading Gemina by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the second book in the Illuminate Chronicles. The Illuminate Files. I am currently reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Question number 3, what book did everyone like but you hated? I usually follow the norm. If most people love a book, I tend to like it too. And if most people hate it, I tend to hate it as well. I kind of tend to have like very similar tastes as I guess like the average, but there was so much hype and so many people loved Uprooted by Naomi Novik, but I really didn't like it. I don't know if maybe it was overhyped, but I don't know. I didn't like the magic system. I didn't really like the characters. It seemed really slow to me. I didn't really like the story. It just seemed really strange. But so many people loved it and I'm really sad I didn't like it because I really wanted to. Question number 4, what book do you keep telling yourself you'll read but you probably won't? Usually it'll be like maybe like DNF books. I tell myself like I hate just like not finishing a book because I invested so much time into it, and I tell myself I'm gonna pick it back up, but I never do, and I need to like realize that if I'm putting it down, more than likely I'm never picking it back up, and that stinks. But you know, there are just so many other books out there that I really want to read, so I just really need to be honest with myself and realize that if there's a book that I'm putting down and not finishing, then more than likely I am not going to pick it back up. And if I didn't like it the first time, more than likely I'm not going to like it the second time. Question number 5, what is a book you are saving for retirement? And for this, I'm going with the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. I thought about using this series for the last question, but I am determined to read the series. So many people love it and I hear it's amazing. I want to read it, but this series is so daunting and I'm afraid of it because of the length. I mean, these books just, this is gonna be some commitment. It's gonna be quite a commitment to read this series. Question number 6. Last page, read it first or wait till the end. I always wait till the end because if I read it first and I know like how the story ends, it's like that's what builds, like that's what reading is so fun, is because it builds anticipation and you just want to get to the end and you want to know what happens, and if you ruin it for yourself, that's not fun. My sister actually read the very last page in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I almost like died. I told her, do not tell me how it ends. Like, I didn't want to know. Question number 7, acknowledgement. waste of paper and ink or interesting aside? I think it's interesting. I do read the acknowledgments. Like, as long as they're, you know, fairly short, like some of the acknowledgments that are, you know, like pages and pages, I just skim through it. But I do read it. It's interesting to know kind of what was the inspiration to an author to write that particular book, and you know, who they are thanking. Sometimes authors acknowledge other authors, and it's fun to know like what authors are like friends. I like that. Question number 8. Which book character would you switch places with? This question was a little hard because there are so many characters that I absolutely love, but when you think about it, I don't want to switch places with them. Like, I love Tris from Divergent, but I don't want to switch places with her. Same with Katniss. I almost thought about Hermione, but then, like, she goes through a lot of life and death stuff, and I don't know if I am strong enough to switch places with Hermione, because she's strong. Like, she's amazing. So, for this question, I am going with Anna from Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins, because she gets to go abroad, she gets to study in Paris, which I think is amazing. I've never been to Paris and I really want to go. I do speak French, so that is a plus. I already know the language, and I think it'd be amazing to get to go to Paris, and of course she gets to like kiss a really, really cute British guy, you know. Question number 9. Do you have a book that reminds you of something specific in life? For this question, I'm going with Kath from Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I love this book because it takes place in college, which I think is really, I haven't read many books where the main character is in college. You know, most of them are in high school, but she's going off to college, she's living on her own, she's learning to kind of branch out, get along with her roommate, boys, and she's awkward and she has trouble making friends, and her first, like at first it's really rough, and she just reminded me so much of myself when I first started college. I was able to relate to her. Question number 10 is name a book that you acquired in an interesting way. Okay, for this question, I'm going with The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I pretty much stole it from a friend. It's not that interesting, but a friend of mine let me borrow it back in high school, and I read it, I loved it, and I never gave it back to her. I should have, but I didn't. Question 11, have you ever given a book away for a special reason to a special someone? No, not a lot of people like around me, like my friends and family, read. I mean, they read, but not as much as I do, and I've never given away any of my books. If I were to give away a special book to a special person, that would probably be my husband, and I mean, we live together. So, question number 12, which book has been with you most places? For this question, that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This is my first copy and my only copy of the first Harry Potter book, and it has gone through, it's quite beat up, but I have taken this book with me so many places. I was obsessed with this book, and I just read it and read it and read it, and it lived in my backpack, and I took it everywhere because I just wanted to read it again and again and again. Question number 13, any required reading you hated in high school that wasn't so bad 2 years later? Honestly, no, because if I didn't like it in high school, I probably won't like it now. I don't know. I know, like, your tastes evolve, but if I didn't like it in high school, more than likely, I mean, I'm not going to pick it up and try it again, honestly. There are so many other books that I'd rather read. Question 14, used or brand new book? I definitely love brand new books. There's just something about getting something brand new that's all yours and you get to wear it in. I mean, I'm not opposed to used books. I have used books. I get books from Half Price Books all the time. I think it's fantastic. But if I could get a used book versus a new book for relatively the same price, I'm more than likely going to go with the new book. Question number 15, have you ever read a Dan Brown book? Honestly, no. Question 16, have you ever seen a movie you liked more than the book? It's rare that I like a movie more than I like a book, but I enjoyed The Hunger Games Catching Fire, which is book 2 of the series. I liked the movie more than the book. And Catching Fire is my favorite book in the series, and I think they just did a phenomenal job with the movie. They pretty much took the book and they slapped it on a screenplay, and they added amazing extra scenes, and the characters were amazing. It was just, the movie was fantastic. Question 17. Have you ever read a book that's made you hungry? Cookbooks are included. I have 2 books for this, and I'm repeating books that I've already mentioned in this tag. The first one being Harry Potter, because Harry is always in the Great Hall with his friends, and they're always eating. I actually got the Harry Potter unofficial cookbook for Christmas, maybe like 2 years ago. My husband bought it for me, and I've made a few recipes out of this, and I really enjoyed it, so I like it. It's so much fun. But these are basically all recipes that are talked about in the series, and there's a little excerpt at the beginning of each recipe that tells you like when it's mentioned. And then Fangirl, Kath made me hungry because of the lack of food. She was so scared to leave her dorm room that she hid protein bars under her bed, and that's all she ate because she was afraid to go down to the cafeteria and get food. So she just made me hungry because I'm like, God, she has to be starving. Like, she's living off protein bars hidden under her bed. Like, she needs to eat. She needs to eat a nutritional meal. Question number 18, who is the person whose book advice you'll always take? Before I started book 2, it was kind of like trial and error. I usually would go online if there was a book series I really enjoyed, then I'd go online and I'd like search for books that were very similar to that series and then go ahead and like try that. But my friend Hannah from TheRainyReader, we have very similar tastes, and so I know if she likes a book, more than likely I'm going to like it. Like, we really have similar tastes, so I know if she recommends a book for me, I'm going to like it. And the last question, question 19, is there a book out of your comfort zone that you ended up loving? For this, I'm going with Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This book is much darker than books that I typically read. When I read, I like to kind of get away from like all the sadness and the, you know, just the crap that happens in the world. And Flowers in the Attic, that series is not a series that I would have picked up, but for some reason I did, and I love it. It's amazing, but it does have very sensitive material. There's child abuse, deals with incest, dark topics. There's like death. There's some just some freaky scenes, rape, and but it's so good. It's really good, but it does have really sensitive material, so if you're not really into dark books, you probably won't enjoy it, or maybe you will and you'll be pleasantly surprised like I was. It was definitely a series outside of my comfort zone, but it's amazing series. Alright guys, well that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below and I would love to know the book that has been on your shelf the longest, and also a book that you acquired in an interesting way. Y'all are probably better people than I am, because who steals books from their friends?